Hey guys, within this tutorial I'm going to show you how to work case problem 2. Now as you can see there are a list of instructions, however our first step is going to be opening the case 2 zip file. Now as you can see the file has appeared. To open the file all you have to do is double click it, and as you can see the file is there. So now that we know that we have our file, we can actually begin the assignment. So getting started, we're going to go up to Notepad++. Selecting Notepad++, as you can see, our web editor has opened. Once we're in the web editor, we go to File. We're going to select Open, and then we are going to go to Documents. We are going to go to the folder that says Tutorial.02. Once we're in that folder, we go to the folder saying Case 2. Now, once we're in this folder, we go to Slide 1 Text. And as you can see, we are in that HTML file with all the source code. However, for those of you who might be hard to see, we are going to insert a magnifier for this video, for everyone's able to see exactly what I'm typing in. Now, within our first step, we are supposed to enter our name and the date within the comments section, which is right up here. So I'm just going to enter my first name. Then I'm going to go down, and I am going to enter in the dates. Now, once you've completed this step, you can go up to File, and you can select Save As. And we are going to change the file name to slide1.htm. So all you have to do is take the txt out, just insert .htm. Hit save. Now the next slide, or the next file that we had to insert, was the home text. So we're going to go into our home text. Once again, we're going to go to the author name, then we're going to go down to dates. Once we get done with that, we're going to go back up to File, and we're going to Save As. And we're going to do this all the way until we get done with the rest of these folders. So slide 2, text, slide 3, text, slide 4, text, slide 5, text, slide 6, text. So once again in slide 2 text, we are going to go down, double click on it, type in my name, date, back up to File, Save As. We're just taking the txt off and inserting a .htm. Then we're going back up to File and we're clicking Open yet again. And like I said, we're going to do this until we get all the way up to the slide text 6. Or the slide 6 text. I apologize. So as you can see, the first step isn't too bad. However, it's kind of redundant, but that's fine. Our second step is when things get a little interesting. and our last file. Now, once you've completed step number 1, we're going to go back to the slide1.htm file. Now, our first step is to locate the inline image, which is a home.png. Now, within this list, on the top coding, you can see the home.png within the image SFC coding. However, we want to insert a hypertext link, and of course, remember your hypertext links are the less than greater sign a space href. Then once we have the link, we're going to type in the home.htm, which will link us to our home page, and we have to add a title, which will be called home page. Well, it's not really a title, it's a tooltip, I apologize. And then of course we have to close out our hyperlink, our hypertext link tab. And as you can see, these other ones, there's a first slide, which will actually start step number 3. So within our first slide, once again, we have to do the hypertext link, the ahref, and we are going to insert slide1.htm. And once again, we're going to add the title for the tooltip, which will be called first slide. And once again, don't forget to close out your tab. And we are going to do the same thing with the previous slide. We're going to make the hypertext link, and we're going to link it to slide1.htm. And we are going to use the title, previous slide. Closing out the tab. Then we're going to go to our next slide coding, which once again entering the hypertext. However, for this one we're entering slide2.htm, and our title will be next slide. And of course, you got to close out the tab. Once the tag is closed, we can go into our last one, which is our last slide link. So we're going to hypertext link once again to, well, this time to slide6.htm, which is our last slide, and our title for this will be last slide. Now that is the end of step number 3. Step number 4, we had to pretty much do a hypertext link to our current slide page for each thumbnail. So what that entails is that we will enter a hypertext link. Well, first let me show you. So that's the thumbnail tag. Sorry about that. So that's our thumbnail tag. So we are going to insert a hypertext link right before that thumbnail. So right after the list tag, we're going to insert the hypertext link tag. So we're going to go href, and we are going to link to slide1.htm. Now this wasn't going to be simple. That's all you really need to put for this one. Just a slide1.htm. Close it out. And you're going to do the same thing for the rest of the thumb. You're going to do this for the rest of the thumbnails, all the way until you get to thumbnail 6. About to say you can even go ahead and make this simpler for yourself by copying and pasting the hypertext link in the beginning of each section, and then just closing out your tag. Now that we're done with this, we can go up to File and we can save the changes that we've made. So going into step 6, we're going to go to our home.htm page, or our home.htm file, I apologize. We're going to go down to our first paragraph, and we are looking for the word slideshow. Which is right here, and we had to do a hypertext link for this. So once again, href, and we want to link this to slide1.htm. Remember, we have to close the tab after slideshow. Now step 7, I have to go down to contact me, make another hypertext link, ahref. However, this is for email, so we are going to type in mail to semicolon, not semicolon, but a colon, and then we are going to insert the person's email address, which is tashajer at .edu. Of course, we have a subject line, so we do the question mark. We're going to enter subject, then we're going to hit equal. In parentheses, we're going to put in digital, and for the spacing, we're going to hit a percentage sign 20 and photos. The percentage 20 sign is pretty much that just allows you to insert a space. Of course, once that's done, you close tabs out, and we are good to go in the section. So we're going to go up to File. We're going to save the changes. Now the fun step, we get to repeat steps 2 through 5 for the rest of these files. However, we're going to run this real quick to make sure that everything's going smoothly so far. So first, I'm going to go to the Contact Me to make sure our email is working properly. And as you can see, our email did pop up. We have Tasha's email at the top. We have the digital photos in the subject line. So we are good to go. So we're going to exit out of this. We are going to go to our slideshow, which is hyperlinked. And it took you directly to the slideshow page where, as you can see, the home tab works. Well, the home page works. The first slide works. Our previous slide works. Hold on. Those of you might not be able to see from the magnifier. Let me increase that. As you can see, there's first slide. There is the previous slide, our next slide, and our last slide. So we're going to click on the home page. As you can see, it links you right back to our home page. So that works perfectly. So now it's time to repeat steps 2 through 5 for the slide 2.htm through slide 6.htm. So the easiest way I can think of doing this is going back to our slide 1.htm, and we are just going to copy and paste this information into our other files. So beginning with the navigation tag, we're just going to copy that. Going to go to slide 2, navigation tag. I'm going to click on it. There it is. Oh, gotta get all of it. So we're going to go down to the end of the navigation tag. We are going to hit the backspace button, which will delete the info. Then we are going to hit Control V, which will paste our information. I'm sorry, for those who didn't know, Control C copies and Control V pastes. However, we just can't leave it at that. We need to go back up to our first navigation buttons, and we need to go to our next slide option, because our next slide option is the only thing that we're going to change for this one, because since it's page 2, if it's going back, it'll obviously be slide 1 that we'll go back to. However, if we're hitting the next slide button, we want our next slide to be slide 3.htm instead of slide 2.htm, because that would just leave us on the same page. And pretty much we're just going to follow these steps until we finish copying and pasting everything. However, of course, we still had to leave the thumbnails on the proper slide page. And of course, this is slide page 2, so we're just going to change the slide 1.htm to slide 2.htm. We'll just backspace the 1, enter the 2, and we're going to do these for all the thumbnails. And of course, once you get done with all these, make sure to save them. So yet again, selecting at the navigation, dragging down, hitting backspace to delete all the information. Then we're hitting Control V to paste all the information from that was given to us in slide 1. We might as well start with the thumbnails first. So backspace, the 1, insert the 3 since this is slide 3.htm, our third slide page. Once we get done with that, we're going back up to our first navigational buttons. Now for this one, our previous slide option now is going to turn to slide 2.htm for the hypertext link. And our next slide is going to change to the hypertext of slide 4.htm. Like I said, this process is just going to repeat all the way up until we get to slide 6. And within that one, our next slide is actually going to stay at the hyperlink of slide 6, since that's our last link within our file, or within our slideshow. So as you can see, once you get the hang of this, everything is pretty simple. It's really repetitive. So once you get the hang of it, hey, it's easy pickings from there. Now, once we're done with all that, we can actually go over to Run, and we can launch what we have so far in Chrome. Now I am going to enlarge this. I'm going to exit out of our magnifier. And we're going to see if all these links work so far. So, of course, the home page link works. That's good. Our last slide works. First slide worked. Our next slide works. Yep, still working. Great. Now let's see if we can go back. Of course, we can go back. We can go back, forth, go to our first slide. So it looks like our slideshow is working perfectly. And that is how you do the HTML coding for case problem number 2. But before I finish, I'm also going to show you how to compress the file and submit what you have created. So, going down to File, we're going to go up to Computer. We are going to select Documents, Tutorial 0.02, because that's where I stored this file at. We're going to go to Case 2. Double clicking it, as you can see, all your files are still there. So we're just going to backtrace, or hit backspace. We are going to select the folder. We are going to enter our last name, underscore, our first name, underscore, tutorial 2, underscore, case, underscore, problem, underscore 2. Once that's done, I'm going to right-click my mouse. I'm going to go down to Properties. Once I'm in Properties, I'm going to go to Advanced. Once I select that, I have the option to compress my content, which is what I want to do. So I'm going to select that box. I'm going to hit OK. Once I'm out of that box, I'm going to go down and select Apply. Once again, I'll be asked the option whether if I want to apply with the compression or not. Of course, I'm going to say OK. Then I'm going to select OK within that box. And as you can see, it looks like a hyperlink. That's what you want to see. That confirms that your folder has been compressed. So exiting out of this, we're actually going to go back to Blackboard, and I'm going to show you how to submit this assignment. Entering Blackboard where we left off, we're going to go back to Tutorial 2, pages 128 through 130. We're going to select this link. And as you can see, when you scroll down, you have the option to submit your assignment. These directions can be found in Tutorial 2, Part 2, within your Submit assignment. However, once you're finished, all you have to do is go down to Submit, select that, and you are done.